And so I was invited to try out the Pimax Portal handheld in person, and since I happen to live in New York, I drove over to the city to see if it would pique my interest. So little did I know, there were a lot of things to check out at their panel in Adorama. I found myself really enjoying their product lineup, especially I wanted to discuss my thoughts on the Pimax Portal, their 4K handheld that is quite the powerhouse, so let's dive right in. So first things first, I wanted to actually talk about a different device, which is the Pimax Crystal, since I was at the event, which is a very high-end VR headset that utilizes two QLED displays, one for each eye, to deliver on a very crisp and very colorful image. It's a very immersive experience without a doubt, and similarly to the Quest, it already has a bunch of cameras built right onto the headset itself so that you can use it standalone. And speaking of standalone, it is also battery powered, so you do have the option to use it completely untethered from your PC, which is awesome. So every VR headset needs to be able to nail the comfort aspect, which is definitely achieved by the Crystal in ways that no other headset that I have ever tested has. It has a very snug fit, and that is thanks to the fact that it offers a proper seal around my eyes, and you really can't see anything outside of it even through your peripheral vision. It's also important to note that they kept into consideration that it needs to be able to fit as many people as possible. So the padding around the front is entirely replaceable, and the lenses are also replaceable with different ones so that you can adjust it to the viewing experience that you want the most. Now with that said, what was it like to actually use this VR headset? So it was really impressive, and it was the best VR headset that I have ever demoed, but it is $1,600, so of course it was going to be this impressive. It genuinely looks amazing when you put it on, and the image on screen is very detailed. It's something that is difficult to describe in words, but it really puts into perspective what other VR headsets achieve. And to compare it with a much more affordable headset like the Quest 2, the image quality is substantially better. Overall, this was a really cool headset to test out, and now onto what I really came here for, and that's going to be the Pimax Portal handheld. Now, the Pimax Portal is a handheld that is capable of a lot here, and it's certainly one of a kind. It's about the size of the Nintendo Switch Lite and has a similar feel, but with a lot more heft to it due to all of the tech that it carries inside. And similarly to the bigger Switch, you can detach the controllers on the side, which appear to be connected through magnetic pins, and use the controllers individually like so. However, one of the biggest things that caught my attention about this handheld is the fact that it's running on a 4K display that looks absolutely gorgeous. It's very colorful with fantastic contrast, and since this device will run the Google Play Store as it is an Android device, you should be able to download a bunch of emulators and play to your heart's content. Now, with that said, the buttons on this device also feel very solid and clicky, which I do prefer personally, but I would have liked to see a true D-pad instead of the directional / arrow buttons that we got here instead. But so far, I have a lot of really good things to say about it, and I can't wait to get my unit in so that I can really push this device and see what it can accomplish. Now, you can also get this giant docking station with it, and it is for docking it to another display. It's got a lot of usability, and I really love what they did here with it, as I think that a handheld like this is definitely deserving of this kind of treatment. This will be part of a bundle on their Kickstarter page, so do make sure to keep that in mind, and I'll also try to leave their Kickstarter page linked down below. Now, moving on to the VR aspect. So you can also get this VR headset to work with your Pimax Portal. Essentially, the Portal has a lot of cameras around the back to facilitate VR with it and allow for it to be used as a standalone device. So you can detach the controllers and just dock it onto the headset piece. Put it on, and then prepare for an awesome experience ahead of you. So since this system is Android based, they did mention that they do have a Pimax store where you can shop for VR games and experiences to use with your Portal, with expected support for Steam VR to come in the near future, which is awesome. So with that in mind, it's going to be a really cool bundle to check out. And by the way, the viewing experience is actually pretty good, and the headset is fairly comfortable, even with that much weight around the front. But it works out, and the cameras around this device do a lot of the heavy lifting here. So if you wanted to check out other devices at any of their panels, then do keep into consideration that they should be around Austin, Texas pretty soon. So you should be able to visit whatever store they happen to be featuring their panel in, and then be able to test out the Portal and be able to test out the Crystal as well, because they do have a lot of tech that you can try out, and it's all very impressive. So that's pretty much it. I really look forward to testing out this device when it eventually releases, and am very excited for future of handhelds that they can accomplish this much, quite frankly, just considering how much they were able to do. So thank you so much again for inviting me to this event, and again, if you yourself are interested in testing out any of their stuff, please make sure to check out their Kickstarter page, because you can also participate in their Kickstarter and hopefully get your own Unit N as well. So links to that down below. Now with that said, do make sure to stay tuned for more content coming up very, very soon, in fact, and the like. You can also follow me on Instagram for more updates and things like that. So with that said, this has been Francisco from Tech Summit. Thank you for watching, and until next time, enjoy.